it's ever important for people to know what I do, who I sleep with, who I date, right? But in this instance, it's very different because, as I said, there's so many people that are side-eyeing me, looking at me questionable. I've lost money, friendships, relationships behind it, and I think it's because people don't
only think in terms of people are trying to put something on it. Will and Jada, what they doing with other people?
Yeah.
Right? Will and Jada ain't really doing too much of nothing.
Bryshere Gray is finally ready to open up about what he went through in the hands of Will and Diddy, and it turns out that he was actually the one who convinced August Alsina to come out and expose his relationship with Jada. Apparently, Jada was enjoying August's stroke game a little too much and wanted to pass him on to Will and Diddy. But Bryshere stepped in and stopped it from happening. He knew firsthand how much being a boy toy to Will and Diddy affected him, and he wasn't going to watch them trap another man in that mess. I mean, have y'all seen Bryshere recently? He left his wife after years of putting his hands on her to go and do gay porn on OF. He used to be one of the most promising black men in Hollywood, and now he's spreading his cheeks wide open on X for $5 monthly subscriptions that barely cover his bills. Now, just for a little bit of context about Bryshere, he broke into the industry when he starred in Empire, and he unfortunately caught the eye of some industry freaks who wanted to turn him out. To make matters even worse, his then manager, Charlie Mack, made it very easy for those industry freaks to get him when he introduced him to Will and Diddy for a mentorship program. According to Jaguar Wright, they forced Bryshere into days of long freak-offs when he was just 17, and he wasn't the same by the end of it. Apart from the physical damage they apparently caused to his private parts, they messed up his mental health too. She first spilled the tea when she talked about the time Bryshere and Meek Mill were heard by Will's neighbors running out of Will's house with no clothes on and screaming for help after a rough freak-off session.
Both bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bryshere Gray, left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
The reason why folks were so convinced that Diddy and Will's mentorship was what caused Bryshere to spiral was because his downfall began right after he ended the mentorship. And it's crazy because, as I said before, if they had mentored and protected him, he would have been one of the biggest actors right now. He was literally on one of the biggest shows on TV at just 17 and was being labeled as the next big thing in Hollywood. Then suddenly, he went from all that to a raging substance addict and getting into trouble with the police every other day. For example, in 2022, he was arrested and found guilty for aggravated assault against a woman he was hooking up with at that time. But this wasn't his first run-in with the law, because back in 2020, his wife was rescued by a man at a nearby gas station after she had gone there asking for help. She told the police that Bryshere had strangled her and put his hands on her continuously till she kept going in and out of consciousness. When the police pulled up to his house to arrest him, he refused to come out of the house. It took hours of negotiations between the SWAT team and Bryshere to get him to come out of the house.
One of the stars of the hit show Empire. Tonight we're seeing hours of new video from his July arrest that ended with his wife flagging down police and telling them the actor had her for hours inside their Goodyear home. The bizarre jailhouse interview lasting for 2 hours as they try to piece together a chaotic chain of events.
Jaguar Wright came back again not too long ago, and this time she went into more details about what really happened to Bryshere. She confirmed the rumors about Bryshere's then manager, Charlie Mack, having a hand in the whole thing by being a link between Bryshere and the people who were touching him. But this is where things got even crazier. Jaguar also revealed that the reason Charlie was able to pull that off in the first place was because Bryshere's mom, Andrea Mayberry, was also in on it, and she allowed everything to happen.
Yeah, I'm talking about Bryshere's mom. I'ma kick you in your and then I'ma go to work North Philly style. F you and Charlie. You happy now? He's a gay star. Are you happy now, Andy? For a book that didn't sell? I hope that new husband of yours leaves you. And maybe it's time you tell your son why his father is really in jail, his biological father, for all of his life and what you had to do with it. You CI. I'm sorry.
Jaguar claims that at the time all this was happening, Andrea came to her begging for help, and she told her to get Bryshere away from Charlie Mack since he was the link between Bryshere and Diddy. But Andrea did nothing and allowed Diddy and Will to allegedly keep messing with her son till there was nothing left of Bryshere.
That came to me and begged me for my help. I told her to get the fuck away from Charlie. I did everything that I could do to get Bryshere, to help her get Bryshere out of California into Chicago State to be ready for filming. She knew she knew what Will did to him. But because of Charlie, see? And Charlie had promised her all kinds of things. And all she had to do was pretend to be a broken down single mom who worked her way up through the ghetto and raised a superstar for television, when the truth is she wasn't nothing but a dealer's. That's all she ever was. She went from dealer to dealer, and then she snitched on whoever she needed to snitch on until she could get to the bigger bag, until she got with Larry Lair, my friend who raised Bryshere in $1 million home. Your whole book is lies, Andy. And I hope anybody that bought it asks for a refund and demands it comes out of your pocket every time they see your son's gate. You and Charlie Mack. See, they trying to slay him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
Okay.
I really hope none of that baby oil was used on those kids. That would just be in bad taste. Baby oil on babies.
You can't say that the flavor camp was sponsored by Johnson & Johnson. You just come on. Come on.
Starting to sound that way, ain't it?
No.
All that talent, and she let Charlie tune that boy up on, knowing that he was bipolar and had ADHD. What kind of mother would do that to her son? Turn him into a prostitute so you could pretend to be something more than what you are, which is nothing more than a filly. You're a big old they're making your son out to be, that's for sure. Because he didn't have no choice. You was down by all. I'm sorry, the Bryshere conversation for me is not easy. Because I came to Belial and I asked Belial to help me save the kids, and all he was worried about was his book.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
nobody care
Definitely.
about these kids. Don't nobody care about these kids.
But while Bryshere was fighting for his life, word on this street is he was helping August Alsina to escape, and he did it by convincing August to go public with his relationship with Jada. If y'all remember, August made headlines back in 2020 when he revealed during an interview that he had been blowing Jada's back out and Will gave him his blessing to continue sleeping with her. He said he regretted letting himself get sucked in by Will and Jada because for years he gave himself away to be used in their freak-offs, and by the time he came out of it, he was broken in every way possible and needed healing. Part of that healing was for him to come out and tell us what happened so he can free his conscience. At the time, we didn't know, but it's now being reported that Bryshere was the one who urged him to do this before he ended up getting damaged like him. At some point, August even said he wanted to die.
Actually sat down with Will and had a conversation due to the transformation from their marriage to life partnership that they've spoken on several times, and it, not involving romanticism. He gave me his blessing, and I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life. I devoted myself to it. I gave my full self to it. So much so to the point that I can die right now.
Jada initially tried to deny the allegations and later tried to do some PR damage control. And that's when they both admitted that August was in fact Jada's little side boy that she was sleeping with because Will wasn't enough for her. She said the reason she initially denied it was because she didn't think it was out, knowing what she was and wasn't doing in the bedroom, but she was forced to come out and tell the world about it because August brought it to the internet. She said the reason she pulled August in to be her boy toy was because she and Will were going through something at the time and they even separated, so she decided to take full advantage of the already existing friendship she had with August by proposing a freak off to him, which he was actually down for. This was when she said her infamous entanglement line that had the internet buzzing for weeks.
Situation that I considered private.
You just feel like it ain't really nobody's business. But now Black Twitter has claimed it as their business.
You and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
And we decided.
I was done with you.
Yeah, you kicked me to the curb.
I was done with you.
Yeah.
Marriages have that, though. Marriages have that.
Yeah, we basically, we broke up.
And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, I think from there, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship, absolutely.
And remember how August said Will gave August his blessing to sleep with Jada? Well, Jada said Will didn't have to give her permission because she gave it to herself and went on to let him inside her behind Will's back. Child, I don't know what's worse, her allowing August to make us think they were in an open relationship or her basically admitting to cheating on him.
The only person that could give permission in that particular circumstance is myself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But what August was probably trying to communicate, because I could actually see how he would perceive it as permission because we were separated amicably.
Yeah.
And I think he also wanted to make it clear that he's not a homewrecker.
But it gets even worse. When Will asked her why she was getting her back blown by August, she said she just wanted to feel good, and it had been so long since Will put her through the mattress, like the way August did.
I just wanted to feel good. It had been so long since I felt good. And it was really a joy to just help heal somebody.
Some people are now speculating that the real reason Will didn't mind Jada cheating, even when she found out about him, was because he was also touching little boys, like Bryshere and his own son, Jaden. And Jada kept quiet about it. Child, that was even what Jaguar Wright said, and she claims she got her info from Will's former assistant, Bilal. Mind you, Bilal also came out a few months ago and accused Will of sleeping with Dwayne Martin. Woo, child. This whole thing is given very much open marriage, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see where it goes. In the meantime, people are calling Will and Diddy out for destroying Bryshere and August. One person said, "I always wondered what happened to Bryshere. I really liked him on Empire. He was incredibly talented and charismatic as Hakeem. It's freaking depressing to hear what he was put through. I hope he has a bright future ahead of him, no matter where that is. Hollywood isn't the center of the universe." Another person said, "Charlie Mack, aka Handler. As you see, he is all in the back of all the videos. Bryshere just wanted a break in showbiz, not for his soul to be broken." But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Diddy and Will allegedly touching Bryshere and August inappropriately? And do y'all think Bryshere was right for apparently telling August to come out and spill the tea on everything Will and Jada were getting up to? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.